The throbbing in Chen's temple intensified, a counterpoint to the insistent hum resonating through the processor's control room. He fought to maintain a grip on reality, to rationalize the nausea churning in his gut, but the metallic tang of ozone and decay clinging to the air seemed to amplify the feeling of unreality. Reyes swayed before him, a sickly jade-green luminescence spreading across his skin, his eyes vacant and unfocused. Thorne, impossibly serene, swayed in rhythm with the hum, his voice a melodic whisper. "He's resisting," Thorne murmured, his gaze fixed on Reyes. "A commendable spirit, but futile." Chen swallowed, forcing down the bile rising in his throat. "He's a technician, Thorne. He's supposed to be focused. He's not." Chen trailed off, unable to articulate the unsettling rawness of Reyes' state. "He's not himself. He's evolving," Thorne corrected, his voice laced with a disturbing tranquility, opening himself to a greater understanding. The comms panel sparked violently, showering them with a brief shower of blue light. Chen instinctively reached up to steady himself against the corroded console. "Comms are still down," he reported, his voice strained. "No response from TCDF Command." "They're beyond reach," Thorne replied, unfazed. "Their limited perception prevents them from comprehending the transition." Chen ignored him, focusing on Reyes. "Reyes, respond. Diagnostics. Status report." Reyes didn't react. His gaze remained fixed on some unseen point beyond the viewport, where the alien forest pressed close, a wall of towering silent flora. The forest seemed to watch asterisk them, Chen thought, a prickle of unease crawling up his spine. "The resonance is strengthening," Thorne observed. "The forest is singing." Chen's hand trembled as he reached for the emergency override switch. "I'm initiating a manual system reboot." He ignored Thorne's disapproving glance. If he could just jolt Reyes back to his senses, maybe, just maybe. He flipped the switch. The lights flickered, plunging the control room into brief darkness before the emergency generators kicked in, casting the room in a sickly yellow glow. Reyes didn't flinch. Thorne didn't react. "Ineffective," Thorne declared, his voice soft. "The resonance penetrates deep within your crude systems." The tremor began subtly, a barely perceptible vibration through the metal deck plating. Chen felt it in his bones, a deep, resonating pulse that mirrored the harmonic hum. "What was that?" Reyes spoke, his voice flat and toneless, utterly unlike the frustrated, complaining voice Chen knew. "A greeting," Thorne said, with unnatural calm. "The forest acknowledges your presence." Chen gripped the edge of the console, fighting the wave of dizziness threatening to overwhelm him. He had to do something. He had to break through to Reyes, to Thorne, to something. He had to remember why he was here, what he was supposed to do. He focused on Reyes, pushing aside the rising panic. "Reyes! Can you hear me? Run diagnostics. Processor core temperature. Hull integrity." Reyes' head tilted slightly, as if considering Chen's words. Then slowly, deliberately, he raised his hand. The jade-green luminescence intensified, spreading further across his skin, until his entire arm glowed with an unnatural light. He reached out, his fingers brushing against Chen's arm. A jolt, like a shock of cold energy, surged through Chen. A kaleidoscope of images flashed before his eyes, swirling nebulae, alien landscapes, vast, incomprehensible architectures. He felt a presence enter his mind, vast and ancient, filled with a knowledge that both terrified and allured. He gasped, stumbling backwards, disengaging from Reyes' touch. What was that? Connection. Reyes sated, his eyes still vacant. A glimpse of everything. Thorne's smile, a slow, unsettling curve of his lips. He understands now. The tremor intensified, shaking the processor violently. Alarms blared, alarms that had been suppressed, ignored, overridden. "Hull integrity is at 72%, a synthesized voice announced over the intercom. "Structural harmonics are mirroring external resonance." "Seal the breaches," Chen barked, trying to regain control of the situation. It was a futile gesture. He knew it. "Resistance isn't necessary," Reyes said, his voice laced with a strange, almost pitying tone. Chen felt a cold dread settle in his stomach. He was losing them. He was losing everything. He had to warn Command. He had to. He reached for the emergency comms button again, desperately trying to bypass the overridden system. Sparks flew. The panel shuddered violently, then went dark. "Comms are still down," he repeated, the words hollow, devoid of hope. "The separation is complete," Thorne said, his voice a melodic whisper. "They are beyond reach." The forest pressed closer, its towering floor casting long, eerie shadows across the control room. Chen felt a presence in the room. Something vast and ancient watching them, judging them. He felt himself swaying, losing his balance. The throbbing in his temple intensified, blurring his vision. He fought to stay conscious, to resist the encroaching darkness. He had to warn. Reyes, his entire body now glowing with an unearthly light, began to walk toward him. "Join us, Lieutenant," Reyes said, his voice soft and persuasive. "Embrace the evolution." The forest sang. The tremor intensified. The darkness closed in. Chen collapsed. The last thing he heard was Thorne's voice, a melodic whisper in his ear, and the final touch of Reyes' glowing hand. Then, there was nothing. End transmission.